We have 3 more sessions this afternoon and some really great topics, some fantastic speakers coming up. Heading up this next session is Rika Rakic, the head of strategy, sustainability and governance at the International Biathlon Union. In 2019, she implemented an ISO 20121 certified sustainability program at the FIS Alpine Worlds in Åre, and has advised candidates for the Games on topics related to sustainability and legacy. Please welcome to the stage, Rika Rakic.
Thank you very much, Katie. Good afternoon on my behalf as well. I hope you enjoyed the lunch. This post-lunch session tends to be the difficult one because you're all kind of digesting your meals. But the good news is we have a great session coming up that hopefully will keep you very active. Now, we've heard a lot about the great success of Paris 2024, and I think that story needs to be told and retold. What an amazing event that was. And we also heard about the importance of a very structured bidding process for the success of an event. Now, we shall move to speaking about how to make a positive legacy happen from a major sports event. And I think I speak for all of you, both cities and international sports federations in the audience here, that's important for us. We don't want events for the sake of having events. We want something positive to be left with the community. And I can speak also on behalf of the International Biathlon Union that was certainly top of our minds when we recently awarded the 2028 and 2029 events to town of Intersarten in Hofilzen in Austria and the capital of Norway, Oslo, for 29. So without further ado, since we are running a little bit late already, we shall get started and I will introduce our panelists. First, we have Rogerio Valerio, who is the president of the Committee for Gymnastics for All under the FIG, the International Gymnastics Federation. He has been instrumental for gymnastics for Portugal, his home nation, but also internationally. And he's actually been part of the Gymnastics for All committee for almost 20 years already, and now serving as its president. Welcome, Rogerio. Please take a seat. And next off, we will have 2 lovely ladies representing the organizing committee for the World Gymnastrada 2007 and 2019 in Dornbirn, Austria. And I will first welcome Marie-Louise Hinterauer, who served as the president, and obviously in this role was critical for the success of these 2 events. Joining her is Eva Dornher, who was in charge of the Organization Committee Office and International Relations, and also worked with the FIG to invent the first Gym for Life challenge during the 2 events. Welcome, Eva. Sports director of the International School Sport Federation and has a very long background in volunteer coordination, event organization, having worked for events such as the Special Olympics and the FIFA U17 World Cup. Welcome, Saurabh. Now, this session will have the same format as the previous ones, as before lunch. So each of the panelists will have a short presentation, and then we'll continue with discussion. And hopefully we have time for questions, but I'm not promising at the moment. So shall we start with you, Rogerio? Please go ahead.
This one, the right green. Thank you, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you, Smart Cities and Sports, for the opportunity. Thank you especially for Philippe for all the work we have done through this day. And we are here on behalf of gymnastics and to share with you a perspective of a different event, event in the area of gymnastics for all, in the area of sports for all. So a little introduction in our federation, the International Gymnastics Federation. FIG, as we call it, and the different sports we have. We have four sports: men's artistic, women artistic, rhythmic, and trampoline, that are part of the Olympic program. And thank you very much for Paris, for everything you have done for us to shine again and to have our stars, Simone Biles and all the others, and many countries to evolve in Paris, and the fantastic experience that everyone had. And also, by the way, just telling you that we are looking forward also. We just had the Congress 2 weeks ago, and we just approved our pathway to be, hopefully in Brisbane, included in the Para-Olympics with para-gymnastics. So it's now official, a new area inside the federation and working for that goal. So we are very much looking for it. Also, we have other disciplines like acrobatics, aerobics, that are included in the program of the World Games that will happen next year, and also parkour. And then we have the gymnastics for all, in the area connected with sports for all. So the area that I am staging, that I am the president for the committee that runs the discipline around the world. So the different perspective, the different sports that the big umbrella under the Gymnastics Federation. Gymnastics for all. Besides explaining many things, what is Gymnastics for all, we have 5 guiding philosophical principles that everyone that does gymnastics must have fun. If have fun, we don't need to struggle to keep them in the activity. Everyone wants to come back. Second, everyone be in the activity to have fitness, to have a better fitness. Also, to develop fundamental gymnastic skills. Also important in all our activities to develop bonds, to develop friendship. It stays forever, for all your life. It's an opportunity to do sports in all your life. There is no right age to come to start doing gymnastics, and no one in Gymnastics for All say, now I stop, I don't do anymore this sport because I'm in the pinnacle, now I retire. In our activities, it's usual to start really in early age, and in the event that I will talk next, last year, our oldest participant at 93 years old. So there is a space for everyone, and we must be active. So the event is the World Gymnastrada. The World Gymnastrada, it's the biggest FIG event. It's organized every 4 years since 1953. It's a 1-week event. No formal competition, no awards, no medals, but a lot of informal competition. Who has the better outfit, the better music? Who has more applause? Who has more people watching? Because they repeat the performance 3 times during the week. Who gets more people from one performance to the other? Who gets more friends? Who gets more connections? So there's a lot of informal competition, good competition, that people tend to repeat and tend to come back because of that. And it's always participants from all continents, and as I told you before, all ages and all abilities. In Gymnastics for All, we don't talk about disabilities, we don't talk about what the people don't do, we talk about what they can do and what everyone can contribute for a show. So we are in group performance, and everyone contributes what the coach is a big maestro that brings all the abilities together and creates a show, and we enjoyed that show. That's the trick, to bring everyone together. Everyone has a space, can contribute. So we had our 4 years time. The last World Gymnastrada was last year, 2023, in Amsterdam. Just a quick video from the first day to see already, and here we are, smart cities. Already the first day, the impact in the city, the smiles of the participants just starting, and how is the spirit of the first day. So, thank you. So the question is also why these people want to participate. And one thing that we have powered in the last decade is to establish connections with the scientific world and universities and research. We have here 20,000 participants a lot of opportunities to research, and especially to research also the question, what we need to know, why they are coming. And with the University of Bristol, one of the main conclusions, for instance, is more than the individual. It's to be part of a big group, your group, and the big group that is the event. Feeling part that it's not just you, it's not just your small group, your country, it's everyone together. Also, another study also published in the Journal of Physical Education and Sports, the same way, and in the end, just highlighting that the motivation factors were key factors. Social affiliating, followed by the skill development and health management. But first of all, social affiliation, then the skill, and then the health management. So people tend to be together and like to be together and like to repeat to be together. We are a social animal, so that's it. To be fast here, and I see that my time is already gone, economic impact, telling shortly from the 20,000, 30% in media, in average, from the participants have their accommodation bought as hotel via the LOC. 70%, that means in Amsterdam, we had every day a lunch during 3 hours for 14,000 participants happening. Also, 15% have a dinner, but also many opportunities in the food areas of the organizing committee. Also, via the organizing committee, besides the many others, the touristic packages. 1/4 of the participants buy some touristic package through the LOC. So really, in the low number, we are looking forward a minimum of 20 million impact via the LOC, and we know that there is much more. Examples also of recognition by the cities and by the governments and by the countries. In Helsinki in 2015, the Gymnastrada was awarded the touristic event of the year and also the sports event of the year. So it brought something to the city, brought something to the country, and it was recognized by that. Also, and talking about sustainability and the green event, going back to 2000, everything was by fax, by mail. 25 years ago, that was the reality. So we came to more and more technology, more reusable, not dispensable trays, dispensable mugs, dispensable things, but reusable. Few printings. Nowadays, there are no official book of the event. Everything is there now in the apps. It's something now very usual, but it came in the last 5 years with the smartphones, not before. But now we cannot live without it. But it's very nice here. Again, example from Finland, it was possible to certify the event and recognize as the Eco Compass event of the year. And I can tell you that there were many other examples. And for instance, we will hear from another event in Dornbirn that have done it twice. That also another challenge is there. Community impact. It's incredibly how the communities are touched by this event and the awareness of the event and how they want to take part. I leave that also for you. We have talked here before about the bid and the decision. Usually we have a 5 years pathway. For instance, the decision for 31 will be in 26. And next year, in 1 year, will be the official bid. But we are now already working with 3 countries that came to us and asked to develop their bids to present in 1 year time. Also, the commitment of the locals, but especially the volunteers. If you have the community with you, no problem with getting volunteers for the event. You don't need to chase them. They will chase you. For sure, there are updates, not new infrastructures, but updates, modernizing, and especially for us, very important, gymnastics legacy. We are not going and disappearing. It's something rests, more clubs, more activity, more gymnastics happening in each city. Finishing. So since 53, we had 18 editions and one small detail, always in Europe. We never had from other continents, the power to come and present a bid and being a winning bid. But maybe in the future. These are the countries that have done it. 5 countries have done it more than once, and only 4 cities have done it more than once. Lisbon will repeat it now in 2027, and you can see 3 capital cities, Amsterdam, Berlin, and Lisbon, and now you understand why Dornbirn is here. It's not a capital city, but has done it twice. So that's it. And this is what we have. Thank you very much for your attention. And
thank you very much, Rogerio. Can I ask you one question before you sit down? Can you reveal us the hintergrund of the name, Gymnostrada? Where does that name come from?
Gymnostrada. Gymnostrada is a created name from gymnastics, and strada from the Latin, with the double sense of strada, the road, the way that you should go, and also the stage, the strada, the stage. So it's a stage, a goal for gymnastics.
Thank you very much. Now, without further ado, we give the floor to Marie-Louise and Eva.
Hello and hi to everyone from the 2 Austrian ladies. Speaking on this summit to us feels like the parable of David and Goliath. And to me personally speaking, here is a 2-part person. On one hand, I was the responsible politician at that time when the 2 Gymnostradas were hosted in Dornbirn. I was the sports counselor at that time. And on the other hand, I was the president. So it was always switching over. With the following slides, we want to give you some insights how such a small place like we are was able to organize a World Gymnostrada. It started not with a sophisticated plan to host such a big event. It started with a dream of a senior gymnast who, as a young man, was participating at the Gymnostrada. And 2, to be honest, crazy people to dare that. One of them was me. Michael Riley called Eugene this morning a small city with about 180,000, Google told me. So for the following slides, please always keep in mind Dornbirn, 52,000 inhabitants at the moment. And the whole Republic of Austria, about 9 million, like London, like the city of London, whole Austria. Please keep that in mind when you get the information and you see the numbers. Being not successful at our first bid, with Rogerio Valerio bidding for Lisbon at the same time, gave us the time and the possibility to host smaller events ahead. Then for our preparation, many things were essential. 2002, we knew we will be the organizers of the 2007 World Gymnostrada. To get our LOC fit for their work, we visited the World Gymnostrada in Lisbon in 2003 with about 30 people, all of them with no experience in Gymnostrada matters. From the Lisbon LOC, we were allowed to accompany them in the different fields, and that was a huge help to learn and understand. The framework of the event are the FIG regulations, the close cooperations with the Gymnastic for All Committee, the exchange with the former organizers, and the meetings with the head of delegations were milestones in preparing such an event. The Swiss always provide the highest number of participants. Therefore, it was completely clear to us to have a strong exchange with them to learn what's important for such high number of participants. On the other hand, we wanted to enable smaller, poor countries to participate. Therefore, in cooperation with local bakeries, we created a Gymnostrada bread loaf, which meant 50 cents of each loaf sold went into the support for these countries. People could buy this bread loaf about 1.5 years before the Gymnostrada started. So this idea allowed us to help these countries, as well as it was superb to promote the Gymnostrada in our area. Participants, spectators, and the FIG were very satisfied how we organized the 2007 World Gymnostrada. As a result of that, FIG invented, in cooperation with us, a new gymnastics event the Gym for Life Challenge. See our promotion film for that right now.
Dornbirn in Vorarlberg, Austria, is ready to stage the first Gym for Life Challenge. It was here where the last World Gymnastrada took place in 2007. And it was not just the 25,000 participants who were enthusiastic about it, but also the whole population of this region. The Gymnastrada has sparked a fire and aroused a lot of interest in gymnastics. The fire is still burning, with a desire to host a subsequent event. All the necessary infrastructure is available here for accommodation and catering, and of course for the performances. The experienced and proven team of Dornbirn is prepared to ensure the Gym for Life Challenge a success, and would like to call all gymnasts, be part of it.
You saw now a lot of happy faces, and the World Gymnastrada is really a festival of joy, as there are no losers and only winners. The film showed you one step of our long way over 20 years we shared with the international gymnastics family. As we held a fire of enthusiasm burning after 2007, we had the chance to create an event together with FIG, a new format, which was more competitive, and the groups could reach the bronze, the silver, and the gold level. And even a winner was elected at this event, which is now a fixed part of the FIG calendar. I do not lose a lot of words about these numbers shown, but I would like to stress out we had only little resources by the financial support of our city, county, and state to prepare the event over 5 years. Therefore, we had a lot of volunteers and only 2 paid positions for the first 4 years. This was one of the key of success for the World Gymnastrada in Dornbirn. Another was the so-called national villages, where we hosted gymnasts as a complete nation in one town and did not split them. The hosts met the representatives of the national federations before the event. They knew their needs and special requirements, e.g. for breakfast. The volunteers had to prepare every day 15,000 breakfasts at schools, also prepared the school classes with mattresses, and deep friendships started. We involved all local bus companies for the transfer from the airport, and until now, we see an impact on tourism. Some participants still spend their holidays in our region with their families, and after 2007, the Austrian Tourism Board had an extremely high and unexpected request for holiday information in our region, and some countries, they even ran out of promotional material. Another key of success, the main position of our local LOC did never change in 20 years, e.g. accommodation, catering, transportation, gymnastics apparatus, and just imagine how many apparatus you need for 20,000 participants, mats, whatever. These were always the same persons. So our experience as LOC grew over the years. The contact to the head of delegations became stronger with each event we've organized, and the trust from the European and international gymnastics federations got solid. We could only prepare such a big event as we involved our population. With this involvement, the level of awareness and acceptance grew and made the event popular as well. Even the Austrian army was part of it and helped us to build mobile tribunes for 30,000 people in our local soccer stadium, which offers normally only a tribune for 600 persons. To be honest, these huge preparations made some people nervous. Quite a lot of them expected a chaos and security issues and left for holidays in 2007. These doubts vanished after the first 2 days, and our population, known as rather reserved, opened not only their gardens and houses to the participants walking by, they offered them showers, coffee, and schnapps, and they also opened their hearts to the gymnasts and were great spectators for the performances. And they could not expect to hold the World Gymnastrada a second time.
You can see the high numbers of volunteers, 8,000, working in all the different fields needed. Also in the medical service, we had doctors, nurses, e.g., with 24 hours presence working fully as volunteers. Because of the World Gymnastrada, some infrastructural things were implemented earlier, like 4 new halls at the central venue, 2 stadiums were renovated, and 4 train stations renewed. In negotiation 2007 with the Austrian Railway Company, we could achieve a 15-minute frequency. Before that, it was 30 minutes. And as this worked well and with such high acceptance from our people, they kept it, and it's still standard nowadays. 74% of the population using public transport.
These are all benefits for the infrastructure of our region. And as according to the FIG regulations, all participants have to reach the venues from their accommodations within 30 minutes. So we had to improve the schedule for public transportation and improve and invent new bus lines. To avoid the use of private cars for the volunteers and spectators, we did not offer any parking spots, and it worked. The numbers of persons we transported in this week were 5 times higher than usually. In 2007, we used a new technology and equipped all group leaders with mobile phones. It was an advantage for both sides. We could exchange information and always knew how many participants were moving from A to B and could, if needed, provide additional buses. In 2019, we used an app and offered the service not only to participants, but also to the spectators. Since then, the Wi-Fi in our schools and at public places for the communication improved extremely in our area.
So for the development of our province's emergency management, the World Gymnastrada gave a big kickoff. That was a huge benefit to get over the challenges during the Corona pandemic. Preparing the World Gymnastrada, we had close cooperation with many. Also, for example, with farmers, as we wanted to offer local products to our guests. Poor cow on that photo, it was slaughtered like some others to turn into meals for our guests.
The importance of gymnastics changed. Due to the involvement of more than 2,000 local people of all ages in the opening ceremony and the textile school to produce the costumes we needed, the expectation for the event and the gymnastic in general got stronger. It became modern and trendy to be a member of a gymnastic club for people of all ages, and the importance of gymnastic as a basis of any sports activity is clear and doubtless. The visualization of inclusion and integration led to a high acceptance for local handicapped people and gave them more self-confidence. As we offered after the event, the gymnastic apparatus for fair prices to the local club, their infrastructure improved and even 2 new gymnastic clubs were founded. One is now the largest gymnastic club in Dornbirn, and the other even reached the final of America Got Talent TV show and was the winner of the 2nd Gym for Life Challenge in Cape Town. Starting from the first bid, 1998, up to now, several national and international events, and not only gymnastics, have taken place in our area because of the shown quality and ability in organizing such events. Motivation for more sports activity in people's life is definitely higher than before.
Well, what remains? Weariness has turned into enthusiasm and doubts turned into a yes, we can. Politics picked up the trend that people want to lead a more healthy lifestyle and keep moving and turned it into a slogan. Vorarlberg moves, expanding sport infrastructure for competitive as well as non-competitive sport offers. And beside all the impact and benefits for our society, Eva and myself made friends for life. At the Austrian evening during the World Gymnastrada in Lisbon, we received a big praise from Mr. Bruno Grandi, former FIG president at that time. His comment was, I don't know how they did it. I think they are mafia by heart. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. What a lovely quote to end your presentation there. I think most of us were wondering how you did it with 52,000 inhabitants in your city, and you did it twice. Before we get into discussion, we shall give the floor to Saurabh to present his view and perspective of the International School Sports Federation.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. A lot of people did ask me about what school sport is about. We recently moved to Lausanne, so I think a short introduction and a hello from us is in place. We are the first step that many of you must have had in your personal journeys, or as parents, you're planning for your kids. So we are the International School Sport Federation. And I will start off with a video so that you're aware of other activities we do in our day-to-day lives and the challenges. Thank you. It was credit to the marketing guys for that short video, and the challenge continues. Basically, we are youth-centric. We offer a lot of sport programs for kids from schools from all over the world. We have education and sport as our main pillars that we operate on day-to-day life and in our championships. Our basic event structure, as you can see, is based off of competitions and a lot of education and cultural activities. Even for me, once I joined in, it was really nice to know that we have Nations Night, we have cultural exchange, host city organizes a lot of tours. So it's a lot of global connection within the local environment for a lot of school kids from a lot of countries through our members. As I mentioned, for us, the two most important pillars that we really focus on, sport and education. I think these are fundamental for all school kids across the globe for their overall development. Okay, I think we are missing one slide. Okay. Anyways, I can speak because I made the presentation. We are talking about stakeholders. We're talking about host cities. We are talking about international federations who work with us because this is very important for making a fundamental, strong platform. And we also really work very closely with two of the most important or positively influencing stakeholders for the school kids. It's the parents and the PE teachers in every schools. So we really work together, and we have 136 members who all operate within their countries through the Ministry of Education or Ministry of Sport. So the ministries, the parents, the PE teachers also form a very core community for us, along with working with international federations and the host cities. So when we come together to celebrate our championship, it's a nice platform for the international federations to have a new network access, a local outreach, and also develop their sport more globally. For the host cities, they are there with the platform, with the infrastructure, with the local resources that helps us successfully deliver competitions and cultural programs. By that, I mean is because we are talking about kids. We are talking about under 15s and under 18s and under 12. These are the children who have the maximum capacity for learning. The potential is huge. That's when we introduce them to a lot of sports, a lot of education, a lot of cultural activities. I wanted to say our primary focus is on pilot programs. When we introduce multi-sports events or sports within a host country or a region through our members, the idea is to celebrate sport, curriculum integration through Schools in Motion. And we also have some non-sport events like She Runs for building up a lot of leadership and overall development for young girls. We have our first edition of the World Teacher Games coming up in France in a few months. So these are the pilot programs which we focus on expanding the participation. So, introduce the sport, let the kids play, let them enjoy. There is a lot to develop skills-wise, the capacity, the leadership skills, the social values, everything that we can introduce to the kids at the right age. That's what we focus on, but we slowly also observe when our collaboration with the international federations and the host cities for their legacy part, it's when the next phase also becomes very important for us. Here, I just seen few people play basketball, and I can remember our good collaboration with FIBA this year for a successful basketball championship where 30 countries and 62 teams participated. So that's where we are trying to also focus on the next step. If you like a sport, if you want to pick up a sport, if you're a PE teacher, if you're a coach who wants to test yourself, or just like I seen people play basketball, you're at the right place. You're at the FIBA house. So that's when we also focus on towards the professionalization of the sport. So the kids can be guided or directed towards clubs through the national federations and the IF infrastructure that is there in that respective country. At the end, because the idea is to build individual philosophies for the kids, because we are looking at the future decision makers or future contributors in all the countries for the coming decades. So we really focus on making a platform which is simple, which is enjoyable, cheerful, social for them to grow. Some of the case studies from this year's events, as I said, we introduced World School Championships. Those are individual sport events. And we recently had the multi-sport event in Bahrain, which I will come up to in my following presentation. But we had amazing football championships in Dalian, China this year, where we involved 600 local volunteers. Through our great collaboration with FIFA Football for Schools, we had 80 local PE teachers trained, because then they are well positioned to introduce more and more football skills and education around the sport for the kids in Dalian. We had 46 local referees involved during the competitions, again trained through the sport program between ISF and FIFA. And the legacy part for the Dalian as a city, for all the school children there, was the football pitches that we used. Out of 12, 8 of them will be used for the school competitions in the region. Look at our single sport events, where my colleague also spoke about gymnastics and the legacy for host cities. We have football, basketball, volleyball, and handball, where we have almost about 50% countries who have hosted our events one time. But a lot of countries, once they are in our community, they would like to do more and more events through the ISF platform, through our members, because at the end, we are celebrating sport and education for the kids. Coming to the multi-sport event, recently concluded 1 week ago. So we still have fresh and very good memories from Bahrain, where we hosted 26 sports, including 4 parasports. That's the most in any school competition environment across the globe. And what do we take away from there? A lot of smiles, a lot of happy people, a lot of happy kids. But what was it for Bahrain as a host city? It was the largest event that Bahrain as a host country has organized. 26 sports, 5,500 participants, and a lot of friends and families involved to celebrate sport in Bahrain. We had a lot of local volunteers involved. There's 10, a bit not aligned, but it was more than 1,800. One of the good things that we managed to do with the LOC is every sport equipment that was procured or existed for all the 26 sports, including parasports, was given back to the national federations of Bahrain, so that a lot of kids can continue those sports with top-class facilities. Through our great collaboration with the international federations like badminton, like basketball, I remember chess as well, because they hosted a lot of sport programs and workshops for the local kids. And they got introduced to different techniques of the sport in a very social, family-oriented environment for the activities. And those workshops also were a good platform for the IFs to connect with local kids and even more new networks. We had Bahrain with almost 500 participants. We introduced 4 new sports in the country itself, because they don't have national federations for gymnastics or beach volleyball or orienteering. So the kids were really exposed to some fascinating sport. And I really could recall that a lot of them could have asked their parents, I really want to do this in the future. So that was really good to see for us. And then, okay, during all our championship, we always use existing facilities. That's something we always focus on. But again, for Bahrain especially, 4 of the venues were renovated so that the kids get really world-class facilities for the championship and also the years coming ahead. And again, similar to Dalian, we had a lot of local officials involved. That increases the pool of people really needed to run competitions. For kids, for professionals, for anyone, you need officials. Without those, the field of play is incomplete. So it was a good platform for us to train a lot of local referees and give them exposure with our international federations. And as I said, Bahrain was one of the first countries that hosted our multi-sport event, but 2 countries have done the Gymnasiad before. Education, our another important pillar, along with competitions and field of play. So we also focused with Bahrain before the event by hosting a lot of online webinars, but also during the event when safeguarding, mental health, anti-doping workshops were hosted by professionals, and the IFs hosted a lot of their workshops. And it really had a significant impact with more than almost 10,000 people being introduced to a lot of expertise and information. Some of the workshops that we held in Bahrain, and overall through the years, as I said, 51 years of this organization, we have managed to reach more than 30,000 kids in the youth capacity building program, as well as a lot of PE teachers and families, which continue to be our focus. But at the end, we are looking at a lot of children, a lot of leaders, a lot of people who will have sports somewhere in their heart, even if they are not professionals, if they are administrators, if they are spectators, if they are normal employees in a lot of organizations. Sport is here to stay with us. So it's a very good platform for us when we go to host cities, host countries, and international federations to be able to collaborate to let the kids have exposure to such platform. And one of the most important things I feel personally, because of we are talking about the healthy lifestyle in host cities, comes the factor of happiness. Happiness plays a very, very important role for everyone to have good health, to have a good feeling, to be able to perform in the best way possible in our daily lives, because stress is everywhere. And because of that, I personally witnessed something which I've never experienced in my 11 years of sport career, is this moment at the basketball championship in Macau, where 14 kids from 12 countries celebrated their birthday together. And that's something every kid wanted to be a part of on this stage, to join this celebration. This was something I really, it stays with me. It's been 4 months, but I know my executive director also will say, I keep on repeating this moment, but this really helps us realize what we are in it for, and it's for the kids. So thank you for your time and attention, and I'm happy to take some questions.
Thank you very much, Saurabh. Love the way you integrate not only happiness, but also education with sport. Please take a seat. We will have a short discussion here with our remaining time. I'd like to explore a little bit the methods and measures that you have found successful across the board, panelists here, to make sure that these legacies actually happen. They don't just happen without that being prepared. So I'd like to start with you, Rogerio. You spoke a lot about how you focus on well-being and social inclusion and diversity. You know, you don't have disabilities, you have what you can do. Can you be a little bit more specific on what kind of tools or arrangements you use to define and ensure those such benefits actually come to be through your events, in particular Gymnostarra?
Well, thank you for the question. It starts from that everyone, really everyone, can participate, and we don't make a difference as to be the quality of the group, or quality of the participant to reach any part of the event. Everyone can be part of anything in the event. And also we have many examples, many videos in the internet and so on, that in all the groups there are people with, let's say, different abilities that are included, and that we don't even really notice. They are not, it's not highlighting the difference, it's highlighting the common achievement with all the differences together. So we really promote that and promote the different generations together. We had presentations in the stadium of a group of 500 participants that were all parents and small children together, and performing together and different ages. So there are a lot of examples that it's not the what you can do that separates you, it's what brings you together.
Excellent. Now, what has been obvious to me, I've only known you a very short period of time, but I can tell there's a lot of trust and a real friendship among the three of you here. You have worked together on 2 editions of Gymnosfären in Dornbirn, but I think this goes way beyond the organizational partnership you have. I think you spoke about the maybe intimidation that there was when you entered the competition, but you have successfully done 2 editions of Gymnosfären in your town of Dornbirn. What's next for you? Would you consider doing something similar, or would you go for another event? And if so, what kind of an event?
Well, to be honest, I am 70 years old now, and that's up to the young people in our state now. But the population, they think we should do it another time, because when we told people that we are going to Lausanne to this summit, they said, "Oh, are you doing a bit for a third Gymnostrada?" So people would like to have it, but it's really a huge work to do that, and I leave it to the younger ones now.
So for the moment, not. Now, at Eva, I would like to ask you, you told me that you and Rogerio worked together on this first Gym for Life challenge. Now, you were the one maybe that made it happen for the first time, but can you talk through the process, how that now has become one of the most visible elements of Gymnostar, not only your event, but those that came after you?
The story started long before, because as Rogerio said, it's a non-competitive event, but still people are trying to be better than the other. And we wanted to keep it like this, that the clubs are not first and second and third, but they can reach special level. So they know, okay, we just got bronze level, we still have to do a little bit more to get to the silver level. So we wanted to keep the idea, we don't have any losers. So everyone got a medal, everyone got back home and had a certificate that they reached a good level. And we had only one winner who was the best of the gold medals. And it was a long journey, which started even before we did the World Gymnostrada in Dornbirn. But the trust was there from FIG to invent it. And it was really a challenge. And Roger, you want to add something?
No, not adding, but just thanking you from all the work and all the support. And that now became the second biggest event in the FIG with 4,500 participants. And it will be the next edition next year. And as Eva said during the presentation, those groups that, and basically nowadays it's very easy to explain this event, because basically is a gymnastics Got Talent. We all know about the Got Talent with 4 evaluators that choose by their expertise what they like. Here it's 4 experts in gymnastics with different expertise that they evaluate the performance with just 4 criteria, and they award 3 different levels, bronze, silver, and gold for the groups. And that from the groups that were gold, some went to other contests, and one of those from that area now reached the final of the American Got Talent and got the 2nd place. So this means something, that the event and the way it is built up, it's also matching other trends and modern ways of doing it. And just also, if you allow me another 30 seconds, just another legacy, that in Austria, usually the federations, the coordination is central, as many other countries in the capital, in Vienna. Nowadays, gymnastics, special, this area, Gymnastics for All, the coordinators are from Dornbirn, from the other side of the country. So it's recognized also in the country, their leadership in this area of gymnastics. And these came from these persons' activity and the impact and the work from the community. Thank you.
Very nice. I also love the concept of first of many gold medals. But maybe, Saurabh, we ask you some perspective on how you actually are able to work with the ministries in the respective countries. As their sports federation representative, we always want to achieve that. We want to be able to left with a legacy where our sport remains, becomes part of the curriculum in schools. Can you tell us a little bit more about that method?
Yes, thank you for your question. There are two ways that we kind of work with a lot of ministries in the host country. One, as I mentioned, that all our members are under the Ministry of Education or Ministry of Sport. So that's one way we try to activate schools in motions to introduce a certain sport or multiple sports in the curriculum. So we have our experts who host workshops, as I said, for PE teachers, for the kids, just to introduce them to the sport and then let them spend time with their friends and classmates to practice some sport. That's one way. And when we host our championships or Gymnasiad, maybe like Gymnastrada, the Gymnasiad can be the next for you if you are interested. But then we start working with the ministries, a lot of local authorities, to be able to explain them what ISF is about and what this Gymnasiad would mean, because it's more than sport for us, it's the education as well. So that's when we do a lot of activations in the school environment before even reaching that particular host country for the event.
Excellent. I'm afraid we must be out of time by now. So I will just, I think we could keep going for another half an hour, because I think we only started to scratch the surface here in terms of the many opportunities there are for sports federations and cities to work together over the long term to really develop these and deliver these legacies that an event can leave with a city and its population. But we shall continue another time. For now, I will say thank you very much for all of you. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I hope you did too. And please find the panelists during the coffee break for any other questions you may have. Thank you very much.